you agree?
Be real, be genuine, no fakies. Blah, 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 blah. Welcome to Craft House Media. My name is Nate House.
And I'm Elijah Kraft.
Thank you for joining us. We wanted to talk a little bit about
I guess you could call it dreams.
achieving your dream.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a story that I've been reading that is The Alchemist. It's a wonderful story. If you haven't read it, you should own it. Everyone should own it and read it every few years. It's basically the story of a young man who is achieving his dream and the journey that he goes on to achieve that dream. Where's my camera? That side. Okay. Bottom right there. There you are. Found you. And why I wanted to bring that up is I was reading this last night, and there was a piece of this story where the young man encounters a person that has a dream and has really no desire to achieve it. And that was kind of the impetus of a conversation of, well, what does that look like if you were a person that carries this dream, but they're not doing anything to get there?
So what about that, Nate? Just for the listeners watching this right now, like give us a little bit of insight and context on like what stood out about that guy who didn't.
Okay, well, I'm sitting at the cafe. I'm reading the story. I'm enjoying it. I remember reading this story, I guess, nearly 15. Yeah, let's say 15 years ago. I don't think it was 20 years ago, but I think it was definitely 15 years ago. And I remember being a different person when I read it. And so kind of feeling like I am the protagonist character that's on my dream to achieve it. And now reading it later, they're talking about this character who kind of sidestepped their dream to work as a crystal shop salesman, own a crystal shop, and he becomes comfortable with just thinking about his dream but not achieving it. And I was kind of like, oh shit. Oh, that's language. Oh no, I am that person. Well, I don't know that I am that person. I mean, I'm still living a dream. But I was just kind of wondering if there was, you know, you conceptualize yourself differently, I think, and you start to realize that you are multiple characters in a story, and maybe there's parts of myself that would be quite unhappy that I wasn't still on that dream of chasing after the pyramids as the character is, without giving away too much of the story.
So you clearly saw yourself in this character, it sounds like.
I did, and I wondered, you know, had I become a little bit complacent, a little bit trading out the excitement of the end to just kind of be comfortable where I'm at now and thinking about that. And so there's a quote on the quote board the other day that I read, and it was like, comfort is the enemy of growth, something like this, you know. And part of me was like, no, you have to be comfortable to be able to rest, and then through rest you grow and recover. And I was like, that's secret.
Missing the word.
Yeah.
Just a little bit there.
Like, no, you really do. You have to be outside of the comfort zone. You have to do things that maybe don't always make sense, that are in line with that personal legend that they talk about in the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I brought this up with Elijah, you said, "Oh yeah, I know these people. I like them."
Something to that extent. I said something a little less impolite about the people. Mostly that I wanted to, yeah. We'll put it politely. I wanted to shake them and wake them up.
Wake them up. Yes.
Wake them up, because I just don't believe that we are meant to have dreams and then not manifest them. Our dreams are meant to be manifested, and our dreams are meant to be pursued, and that's where we get our fulfillment from, is in the pursuit of our true and fullest potential, and actually pursuing the dream that we have and hold in our hearts. Whether that was given to us or whether that was born with us when we came into this world, we were truly meant to chase our dreams and create them unto this world.
Yeah.
But you know,
the world doesn't benefit from you not achieving your dream.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a thought in your mind, and at that point, it doesn't really do anybody much good. But a lot of people that I meet, there's a little bit of dissonance in the character in the book in The Alchemist and the people that I meet in real life. The character in the book, from what I recall, he was very content with just having his dream and then not chasing it. But he very much so recognized that he could.
Yes.
Whereas in real life, at least in this reality, the people and the characters that I meet, they realize that they have a dream and they feel very disempowered and scared almost to do anything about that dream. Whether that's hiding behind the fear of, what if I can't, provide for myself? What if I fail in achieving my dream?
Yeah.
Perhaps I'm too comfortable. I have children, or my parents said I have to do this. Right. Or you're living someone else's life. These are all just excuses. These are all forms that we all fall behind, and they're all reasons that they're really just excuses.
I like that you brought up children, because I have met parents and they talk about the things that they want to do, the person they want to be, and then they say, and then I had children. Yes. And they make this claim that such tiny feet could crush such big dreams. And I always felt sad about that, because there's a lot of sacrifices, and if you are a parent, of course you sacrifice for your children. I think the challenge is, how do you live a coherent life of raising children, raising good children, and pursuing your personal dream, your journey, in such a way that it's coherent with your life. And I think that's a big part of being a successful parent. I don't like it when I hear parents say to their children, like, I sacrificed everything for you.
Yes.
And my parents didn't say that, thank God. But they did. I know they made a lot of sacrifices. I know that there's an image I saw of a man's arm being the rung of a ladder for his child to climb up, and it's very true. Suddenly you have to hold the ladder so that someone else can ascend, and that is being a parent. But I think to be the example of an adult that realized their dream while being a coherent person and parenting is a much more powerful way of being the example of what you could be as an adult. And so I love it when I see parents that are doing that. They're good parents, good enough parent.
Good enough.
And they are pursuing what it is that they're trying to be and do and make a difference in the world.
Well, it's not a this or a that matter. Whereas I feel like a lot of the people that we're talking about right now kind of look at it like I have to have kids and raise them properly, or I can chase this dream, whatever that might look like. It's all one. If having a dream of some sort and raising kids is part of your vision and part of your truth, and that's something that you genuinely want to pursue, you can have it. I truly believe we're only limited, by the limits that we set in our own minds.
Yes.
And
yes.
It doesn't have to be a matter of this or the other. If you want to raise a child to have a dream for himself or herself and then go chase that, be the example and set the precedent. Build your dream and model for them.
Right.
I mean, people don't listen to what you say; they watch what you do.
Yes.
A lot of times, the lessons, so-called lessons that we try to teach our children, are overshadowed by our poor habits and our lack of vision and fortitude.
And speaking of those poor habits, so this enemy of growth, comfort. Comfort comes in a lot of different ways for people. For some, it's I get home from work and I put on the television. And what that means now is I put on my Netflix, or so I control very specifically the fact that I'm going to watch 10 seasons and devote myself to really enjoying this thing that I've decided to enjoy. So, but that's a comfort. That's really a short-term enjoyment that might be shortchanging you for becoming the person that you want to be, or doing the things in your life that you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so
right now, I could be at home. I could be watching Game of Thrones. It's a great show, but I'd much rather be creating something. I'd much rather be creating content to help people and expand their minds and collaborate with other people. Like to me, it's not really a sacrifice. I'm not giving up anything. It's a privilege in order to be able to create.
That's true. But so there's a very fun story of a study that was done with children with marshmallows. And the study was that I can give a marshmallow to you now, here you go, and you can enjoy it, or you can wait. And if you can wait a certain amount of time, and in child time it was 10 years, but it was like a few minutes, you can have 2 marshmallows. And the great thing about that was they saw that there was about 1/3 of the children could wait and enjoy a second marshmallow because that was their goal, or they had to take it now, which meant that there was no second marshmallow. So, and then they followed up with these children like 10, 15 years later. I don't know if I told you that.
Yeah, didn't they use that study as like an accurate predictor of what success or something like that?
Yeah,
or,
if you were able to, well, that's a great question. What is success? but they were able to say that the ones that were able to delay gratification, they were able to finish high school, they were able to finish college, they were able to maintain jobs, they were able to stay in relationships longer. So that it was kind of this innate predictor of like there were some people that could delay gratification and some people that couldn't. And I think that's another big barrier for someone achieving their dream. And that doesn't sound fair, like to be given a dream, or to dream a dream. Are you given your dreams, or do you come up with them yourself?
You can catch a dream.
Catch a dream?
But you can also be born with a dream and create one yourself.
Okay, so there's these dreamings that happen.
Yeah.
It seems very unfair that if you have that you would not be able to achieve it. Mm-hmm. And so I was just wondering, do you have any advice? Like if you were part of the 2/3 of the population that doesn't really innately have delayed gratification down, what do you do?
Well, I do think I'm part of that 2/3 personally. I think my natural inclination is to go for the first marshmallow personally. So, as a person who realizes the benefit of waiting and delaying for the second marshmallow, metaphorically speaking, what I'm learning to do is create practices of delaying gratification in my daily life. Mm-hmm. For example, a real life example, when I woke up, it was very easy for me to just open up my phone and go through my social media, do messages, whatever have you.
And of course, if you are just opening up your phone this morning, please continue the video.
Because this will enrich you. Hopefully this will enrich your life. And,
But, okay, so you're this person that's in a routine in the morning. Sorry to interrupt.
Mm-hmm. Or I would eat very early in the morning. I have like a bar right by my bed. I love like granola bars, man. They're my weakness. And just have one of those as soon as I wake up, because
cookies in bed.
Right. Bed and breakfast. What beats that? But what I realized is that it often got me to a slower start in my day. I wasn't able to start my day as intentionally and with as much gratitude. Whereas if I were to wake up and instantly go meditate, or go clean myself off, like wash my face, brush my teeth, etc., make my bed, get my day started, I would have started the day off with much more gusto and much more energy and much more clarity in my day. But it's that daily habit of either choosing the bars and social media, for example, or getting my day started with gratitude and intention. Having that habit compounded day after day after day after day is eventually going to create my life. Okay. It's not decided in a single instant, but it's what you do on a daily basis that decides it.
So if we were to break that down, if we were to say, this week, maybe this week I'm going to commit to, when I wake up in the morning, I'm going to do something different. And what I'm going to do is, maybe just like you said, I'm going to wash my face. Then I'm going to meditate. I've never done this in my mornings, ever. So this will be a new challenge for me this week. Should be good.
For you,
Yeah,
thanks.
Thanks. Josh. Okay, so if I do this different activity in the morning, it will change the routine. It will break the mental habits that I'm in with my mornings. I've never been a good morning-er. I don't morning well.
Yeah,
Um, It's early morning around, what time is it now?
it's morning somewhere.
It's morning somewhere, yes.
Yeah.
It's my morning. So I think this will be a great thing for me to do actually, because I do have this desire of having a more coherent path towards reaching my goals.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I was able, maybe you can do this with me. So in the mornings, it's going to be a change. We're going to not go on social media.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to, well, I don't snack in bed.
I snack. It is what it is.
That's horrible.
No, but that's why we're doing this. We're bringing awareness to this.
So we're breaking routines. The other great thing about doing something like this, and you kind of, this is a way that I'm showing myself that I care about myself. And I think that's a big piece of achieving a goal or achieving your dream, is how do you maintain that? How do you support yourself in such a way that you can keep going?
Mm-hmm.
And so that ties into some other things, but I think that's a great place to stop here.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got an action
Yeah.
of what to do differently, and
Yeah.
that is,
You know, well, I should preface that. I mean, it's going to look different in everybody's life. For me, it's waking up in the mornings. I stay up so late all the time. Mornings are usually rough for me, so I can change that. I'm empowered to change that because I want to, because I care about myself and I know the value that that's going to bring me.
Okay.
It's going to bring me the second marshmallow, metaphorically speaking.
yes.
In your life, that's going to look different. What area in your life do you really want to change, and what area in your life are you going for the first marshmallow in the first minute?
Yeah.
What area in your life could you wait for the second marshmallow? And do you realize how much value and how much fulfillment that's going to give you, as opposed to just going for the short-term pleasure? Long-term fulfillment is always so much more fulfilling than short-term pleasure.
Mhm.
And so, I mean, going into this project, if you will, with us, I mean, we're happy to have you guys along the journey for us, with us.
I think that's great. So if you can, send us a content message. Is that how you say that? Send us a message
Mm-hmm.
of
Leave a comment.
what it is that you're going to do to change your routine in the morning
Mhm.
just a little bit.
In what area of your life are you still going for the first marshmallow?
And maybe if you can send us the poop emoji of what it is that you're giving up. And maybe that is, you know, going straight to the internet in the morning, or is there a marshmallow emoji?
I don't think so. There should be. There needs to be a
Be
marshmallow.
creative.
Apple
Show us what you can
software
find.
engineers. Lying to you guys.
All right, well that sounds great. I'm really excited to see what you all do.
Yeah.
And thank you for tuning in to Housecraft Media.
We'll see you guys in the next video.